If you like what you see on my channel, then consider supporting me on Ko-fi for a couple of great rewards. Or don't, it's not like you have to. Holy crap, a new 10 words or less video from this channel. Man, it seems like only yesterday since this guy posted his Veggie Tales in 3-to-1 Penguins videos. I can't wait to see that Pinkie Pie profile pic one more time.
Who the f*** is this?
Yeah, it's been a while, hasn't it? Between real life stuff like college and such, focusing on other videos, and exercising my writing skills on my fanfictions, I just didn't have the time or ideas for a new video like this. But since a certain franchise has recently ended, and since DC's moving on toward James Gunn's new DC universe, why not take a look back on the franchise you all know and love? The DC Extended Universe. Man, what an interesting beast this has been. On the one hand, you got an intellectual dive into what Superman would be like in a post-9/11 world. On the other hand, you got James Gunn doing whatever he wants with the Suicide Squad. And on the other hand...
You're lucky we don't call the authorities, because I'm Batman.
This... thing. It's all been a mess to say the least. But what has been the best this franchise had to offer, and what has been too little too late? Whole number ratings out of 10, plus some superlative awards just because. Anyways, here's every DC Extended Universe movie, and Peacemaker 2, why not? Reviewed in 10 words or less. The snap heard around the world, for better or worse. Comparing character story featuring some of the most gorgeous visuals. Am I crazy or do I still enjoy this movie? They start wars by themselves. Just look at Rotten Tomatoes. Are you trying to make brunch the new shawarma? Facing the biggest traitor in Atlantis. And also Ocean Master. Looks like even they're upsetting the Superman's upper lip. It's over, Harley Quinn. I have the high ground. Why was Diana flying to the sunshine music? I'm serious, Zach. Enough of the sequel baiting. And too much improv is too much improv. Wow, hope that apartment is well insured. Wonder Woman Ex Machina. What's wrong with you, Barry? Fair question, George. What isn't? Can we just not have any more movies about symbiotic superheroes? If that cockroach's death isn't the ultimate metaphor, what is? And that's everything. And I do mean everything. They're not gonna release that haircut anytime soon, okay? Anyways, top and bottom 3 times. Number 3 worst, Blue Beetle. I'm all for origin stories where a wimp learns to become a superhero when he acquires some kind of special powers, or in this case, a special suit. But the problem here is that he doesn't even learn anything throughout the movie. Most of the time it's his suit doing all the work, and in the case of the climax, his family has to save the day for him, as most of the time all he does is cower and or get captured. Why is the Scarab even choosing to begin with if he has 0 heroic attributes? You know it's sad when even the Venom movies portray this kind of story better, because say what you will, at least Eddie Brock learns to become more heroic through the Venom symbiote, and he doesn't solely rely on it to save the day. Here, this guy's a wimp who has to depend on others then, and he's a wimp who has to depend on others at the end of the movie. No wonder this was the lowest grossing film of the franchise. Number 3 best, Wonder Woman. We already talked about an origin story done wrong, now let's talk about an origin story done right. The story about how Diana trains to be the ultimate warrior until she's compelled to go out into the world to stop what she thinks is the war to end all wars is beyond compelling thanks to the performance of Gal Gadot, the intriguing use of Greek mythology, and the breathtaking visuals. And it's more than inspiring for both women and men alike too. Like, if that No Man's Land scene alone doesn't make you feel something, then I don't know what does. Number 2 worst, Aquaman and the Lost Kingdom. Look, I tried to enjoy this one. I've enjoyed most of these movies, as flawed as some of them are, and I really got a kick out of the first Aquaman movie. So why did watching this movie make me feel empty? Could it be because it's literally the same thing as the first movie? Seriously, think about it. Arthur is having doubts about his place in Atlantis before it's attacked by a man of his past, so he has to team up with a fellow Atlantean to travel the 7 seas to find a special power that could change the trajectory of his city's history. Am I wrong? Tell me I'm wrong. I wouldn't mind so much, except it's not even as engaging or fun as it's been before. It's like after the Amber Heard controversy and the James Gunn rebranding, they just didn't care anymore. And if they didn't care, I don't care either. Number 2 best, The Suicide Squad. So after James Gunn's 2-second firing from Marvel due to some old tweets or something, DC decided to call him up like, hey, our DC franchise is kind of a mess, so we'll give you this blank check to do whatever you want. And whatever he wanted, he sure did. This movie has James Gunn all over it, from the colorful and violent visuals, to the exciting action sequences, to the fantastic music, to especially the characters you wouldn't expect to see in a live-action film like this. Like, would you have expected to see a guy who shoots polka dots out of his wrists, or a dumb humanoid shark, or a giant alien starfish in a million years? Well, it proved so successful that now he's rebooting the DC universe in his own image, so one can only be anxious to see where it goes from there. Number 1 worst, Justice League. Man, what a depressing experience this was upon retrospect. While I don't hate it as much as a lot of people, as there were some fun moments worth looking back on without context, my biggest problem is that it just tried too hard to please everyone. It tried to be a satisfying follow-up to Batman v Superman, but at the same time, they tried fixing stuff people complain about, and it's just overall jarring. An overall grounded and emotional tone? Nope, let's just make it fun and comedic like an Avengers movie. Superman's existential crisis caused by the public turning on him? Nope, apparently he was always this happy and beloved superhero with the face of a microwave baby. No, not that microwave baby. We have so many characters to fit into one movie, so naturally, let's make it barely over 2 hours, even if we have to cut out a lot of interesting development for the new characters. Steppenwolf isn't an interesting character, Cyborg isn't an interesting character, Dinah's just there. The visuals seriously look like a PS3 cutscene. The music is just temp music from the likes of Byrne's Batman, Donner's Superman, and the Avengers theme. What is this movie? Why is this movie? What is anything? Number 1 best, the Zack Snyder trilogy. I know I'm kinda cheating on this one, but if I were to list them off one by one, they take up the entire list. What started off as Superman's spiritual successor to Batman Begins became an epic saga about how one hero inspired an entire team of superhumans to protect the world from the faces of evil. Each of these movies knew how to portray thought-provoking themes about how the real world would react to the existence of superheroes, whether it be looking up to them like God or fearing them to be a major threat. That and each of our favorite characters sketch a compelling story arc. Superman with his dilemma of whether having these powers in this kind of world is worth it, Batman who's sunk into a state of depression and the lust of being judged, jury, and executioner until he learns to become the hero he once was and accept the responsibility to protect the world after Superman gave his life to save it, Lex Luthor who turned from a savvy businessman with questionable ethics into a psychopath who is so obsessed with exposing Superman as a false god that he's willing to let innocent people die in his conquest, as well as several others. Snyder did a fantastic job combining political thrills with intriguing comic book lore. And what complements the whole 3-movie experience is the fantastic music and breathtaking visuals and cinematography. It just makes me all the more disappointed that both Warner Brothers and Zack want to move on from these movies, so at least I have these 3 masterpieces to look back fondly on. And I only wish to both of them the best of luck in terms of what they have in the future. Because at this point, they're definitely gonna need it.